What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, this video, I'm going to continue on my series of videos that I've been making lately, and that's asking a question: how many games do you see this team winning? In this particular video, I wanted to talk about one of the most polarizing NBA franchises, and that is the Los Angeles Lakers. And my question is, how many games do you guys see the Los Angeles Lakers winning? For me, with LeBron going into, I believe, his 20th, I believe this would be season 20, older, not getting any younger, but coming off averaging 30 last year, one of the most prolific players of the last 2 decades to grace the NBA floor. You have Anthony Davis, who's, when healthy, one of the most dominant players in the league. We know he can average anywhere close to 27 and 10, barring any type of injury, and he's healthy. You have still on the roster, I know to some Laker fans around the world, Russell Westbrook is still on the roster, and Russ had a pretty good season last year, 17, 7 and 7. I mean, 2K gave him a rating of under 80, which is blasphemous, but in any arena, Russell Westbrook is still an all-star caliber talent. He's still a former MVP, and he's still a player that, arguably, if he was on my team, I wouldn't be upset that he's there, because he's going to come out and give his best effort every game. Patrick Beverley, no addition. They traded THT and Stanley Johnson and acquired Patrick Beverley. It's going to be very interesting, because we know the dynamic that Beverley and Russell Westbrook have shared in the past. They have had mixed of words. So now, being teammates, it's going to be very interesting to see how things pan out for the both of them being teammates. Coach Ham says he wants to play them both at the same time, which is going to be interesting. New additions as Juan Toscano Anderson, Thomas Bryant, Troy Brown Jr. You still have Austin Reeves. You still have Wendell Gabriel. You have Max Christie. You have Scottie Pippen Jr. I mean, the Lakers, if you look at their roster, it's not you're not blown away by, a lot of their moves, but adding Lonnie Walker is definitely an upgrade at the wing position. He can put the ball in the basket. He's very athletic. I think that's one of the main components what the Lakers were missing, last year. They just weren't young. In today's league, I believe you have to have that mixture of young talent with veterans, because in today's league, a lot of teams run and gun. The half court game doesn't really get implemented until the playoffs. And you got to have some of your best half court players who can go ISO and things like that. And the Lakers, I believe, they were coasting a lot during last year, trying to figure it out. Bringing Westbrook on, trying to figure it out. Who's going to be the primary ball handler between him and LeBron, trying to figure it out. AD gets hurt. They're trying to figure it out. And winning only 33 games, it's a testament to that. You can't afford to coast, right? In the NBA, you can't afford to coast. Coasting will leave you behind, basically. It will leave you missing the playoffs. It will leave you, a lottery team, so to speak. So the Lakers ultimately only winning 33 games last year. My question is, how many games do they win this year? New coach, new system, but still have LeBron and AD. Anthony Davis, I haven't seen any like workout videos from him per se. I haven't seen anything that would make me question his durability right now in the off season. You know, a lot of people are saying he's healthy and he's ready to go. I mean, with so many stories and storylines with the Lakers and documentaries and stories and you know, from Netflix to Hulu to Apple, and everybody wants to, you know, make the Lakers what they once were, right? They're what, two years removed from a championship. 2 years removed from a championship in a bubble. But a lot of people don't take that bubble championship serious. A lot of people put an asterisk next to it. I hope I said that word correctly. So LeBron, you know, coveting after his 5th title, you know, is definitely something that a lot of people are going to be paying attention to this season. He's ultimately going to pass Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the NBA's all-time leading scorer. So that's going to be something we're going to all, you know, congratulate and give props to him for that, because it will happen at some point this season. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about wins and we're talking about losses. And I believe that the Lakers will be a play-in team this year. Out of the 10 best teams in the West, I believe the Lakers are one of them. You know, out of the 10 best teams in the West, mind you, I didn't say top 5 or top 3. I believe they are one of the 10 best teams in the West. Because if you say Golden State because they won the championship, Phoenix, Denver, Dallas, Minnesota, you know, it's a lot of teams in the West that are coveting and nipping at heels to compete for titles. You know, we seen it last year. We seen it last year when you look at New Orleans with Zion coming back. You know, they're going to be much more formidable than they were last year. You know, it's going to be a lot of, you know, just thinking about it, just thinking about all the teams that ultimately made it out of the West, and you look at the Lakers and you say, are the Lakers better? Are the Lakers better than Memphis? No. Are the Lakers better, you know, than Golden State? No. Are they better than Denver? No. Are they better than Dallas? No. Are they better than Phoenix? No. Will they be better than... See, the question mark is Minnesota. How good will Minnesota be? But that's another video. I mean, if you just look at the top 8 teams that actually made the playoffs last year, you have Phoenix, New Orleans, Dallas, Denver, Golden State, Utah. Utah will not make the playoffs this year. So can the Lakers squeeze in and be with the Utah Jazz were last year? Now, mind you, the Jazz were the 5th seed last year, and they ultimately had Gobert and Donovan Mitchell in the fold. But this year they won't have neither one of them, so they will not make the playoffs at all. We know they will be a lottery team next year. So that's going to make room for other teams to, you know, capture that spot. Can the Lakers squeeze in that 4-5 range? You know, how many games will they have to win to be 4 or 5? You know, do they have to win 45 games? Now, I believe the Lakers season is predicated primarily on Anthony Davis' health. Because with Davis, you know, getting his extension, basically the Lakers were saying, okay, we can ride another big man's coattail while LeBron is on the latter stages of his career. Because the Lakers are not supposed to be, as a franchise, they are not supposed to be riding an almost 40-year-old LeBron James to the promised land. That's just facts. You're supposed to be leaning on the younger generation, but the Lakers gave that up to acquire LeBron, to acquire AD. We go back to the days of, the Julius Randle, the D'Angelo Russells, the Lonzo Ball, the Brandon Ingram. You gave up that. You gave up your youth movement to push forward with, acquiring a guy like LeBron and AD, because without Anthony Davis, I don't believe the Lakers win that championship in the bubble in 2020. I don't believe that even happens. Right? I don't even think that happens. But again, how many games do I see the Lakers winning? I ultimately see the Lakers being a 45 win team this year. I see them winning 45 games and ultimately being a play-in team. I believe the West is going to be very, very, very tough. I mean, it's going to be tough night in and night out, especially being in the division they're in. They're in the Pacific Division, I believe. And it's going to be tough. You have Portland this year with Dame coming back, and the moves they made, adding Jeremy Grant, extending Anthony Simons. So it's going to be a lot tougher than people might think it was going to be, because you got certain guys come, like I said, you got Zion coming back. You have a lot of talent being thrown into the fold in the Western Conference. So again, I see the Lakers being I see them adding 12 more wins to their total last year, being a 45 win team, and ultimately being in the play-in. Now from there, I don't know. Again, like I said, health and roster moves could sway wins, losses, what have you. But that's what I think about the Lakers. I think that ultimately they will capture more wins than they had last year. I think there will be a 45, 46 win team this year. I could be wrong. The Lakers could be riding off into the sunset and being one of the top teams in the West, but we will have to see. With that being said, again, what do you guys think? Comment down below. Of course, I would love to hear from you guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. I appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network. I'll catch you guys on the next video.